guys, so as you can see, I'm starting to get the coatings down on here. Before that, I actually did do a fresh coat, a second coat under here with this against all the pillars and everything else to kind of really heighten this up. I'll get some more filling in on this. So if you guys had seen my previous videos of how I started this process, it's the exact same process as before, and I'm just going to continue rolling on that. Hey guys, so I know it's been a while. Quick little rundown for you. For the last 4 months, basically I've been working a day job. I've been working a day job for quite a while, pretty much my whole life. So, but summertime is the craziest time for me, and the last 4 months have basically shown that immensely. So, obviously you'll see when I get the video uploaded, you'll see the time gap already. However, you'll see the time gap even more so when you see the clips kind of flip through. So I just want to share that with you guys. Basically, still trying to find a house. That's why I've been working so hard over the summer. And then, of course, I haven't been able to do my live show. A lot of my projects, all of it has been gone on the back burner because I've just had no time between 4 kids and a wife and working myself nearly to death. But hey, I'm not up to where I can do this full-time for a living. I would love to do that at some point. So anyway, we'll getting right into the video, guys. I hope you enjoy, and I hope it inspires you. Okay, hey guys, so 4 months, a long, tiring 4 months. But I have not remained idle. I have been trying to slowly get things so when I finally get to this project, I can jump into this. So I am planning, I'm changing things up a bit from the last thing you saw. I had a bunch of different pipes set up here and all this and that, but I think I have a wonderful solution, a nice elegant, perhaps an elegant solution. I've managed to get a nice long piece of simple tubing here, and my hope is that if I set this up correctly, what did I do? Here it is. Yes. So I had the original piece here, if you recall. All right, cool. It's not a perfect fit, but that's okay. So my plan is, if I set this up correctly, let me see if I can slide something in there. No, not quite. If I set this up, if I can try to get this basically if I can get this set up correctly, I'm going to run a piece through here. I also have another piece, which I think, oh, right in front of my face. There we go. Yep, so that's going to go here is a T-cross section here. There's a cross T-section straight through. So it'll connect here, and that'll cover up most of the wiring that I need. And my hope is that I can have it running to this little box, and I can set that up right here. So it can literally, my original, and so I'm going to cut stuff off. So basically I'm just going to cut stuff off to try to have this fit as best as I can inside this spot. So this will be where a battery pack will go. And the switch I had was only a momentary switch. So think of it like a doorbell kind of switch, which wasn't going to be helpful. This is just a simple on-off switch. Just simple on and off. Clickety-click. That's it. Perfect for my needs. So if I can get this set up in the right way, and I leave myself enough space for my roof of the cathedral there as well, I think it will function the way I want. So, wish me luck on this, guys. Well, that sucks. My phone decided to crash. But here's where I'm at right now. So, as you can see, I couldn't make a long enough cut for this pipe to reach all the way to where I want. Also, of course, this was a little too big for the internal diameter, but I'm makeshifting something here to here, and it's a nice little thing. I think what I can do is I'll make something that looks a little, perhaps I'll do something coupler-like. I think I can mold this a little bit, make that worthwhile. But then, of course, now, the next issue I had was I couldn't quite line this into this. Unfortunate. So I had to go back to my two pipe idea again. So, but I have this running along into here. I still have these wires and these wires right here. These two sets here that are going to the lights of the central and room number 3. Here we go. Sorry guys, I'm going to move it around. Bottom wire here to the central hall here. These wires in the black pipe go to room 3. So, those are the ones I'm having issues with at the moment. The wires for rooms 1 and 4 are perfectly fine through this pipe here. So, that's kind of where it is right now. I have some I think I have perfect solutions to try to get this under control, and also try to get these wires all together to hook up to the main power source, which will be this little battery pack and the switch, which is going in here. I can start setting this whole thing up right here. I got to make some cuts and all that good fun. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, I could just cheat it. Why not? I'll cheat it. I'm not going to need that for a hot minute. Okay, while I wait for warming that up, anyone at home who is watching this video anywhere, matter of factly. Some of you may be watching this and wonder, does this idiot know what he's doing? The real answer, no. No, I don't. I'm literally making this up as I go, which is the fun for me. So, now, let me go into it a little bit. So, as you can see, my original thought was to get this in here, into this little cubby space where I had the battery pack under here, reaching up through all this and that. It was a huge rat nest. I'm sure you might remember that from earlier in the videos, earlier in this video, but also at least the previous one or two, and even in some of my shorts. So, my thought now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this little notch off. I'm going to cut out this whole segment here, this whole thing, and I'm going to put this inside. And it'll be a perfect little backdrop cover through. It'll still have my little cubby down here, of course. Perhaps I could have some little fun with that as well. So, my hot iron is hot enough, so I can just melt this off, which is exactly what I'm going to do. After that, I got to unplug it and try not to burn myself or anything else down while I do it. And then make my cuts and adjustments with this. So, bear with me. All right. Ow. Okay. Whew. Hot, still hot. Okay. That's there. There is nowhere safe to put you. Well, this hopefully. Boop. Okay. All right, we're good. Just don't hit the cord. Whatever I do. Okay. You guys are going to be buzzing for a minute. And I'm back. So, let's have a look here. I was able to make this wide enough to fit. There we go. Like that. Something along that line. And it's actually a perfect wedge in here. And it's actually holding my statue in place too, which is another thing I like, because it's compressing it a little bit, but it's not damaging anything, which is even better. So there's that. But I think I will. It was a debate between cutting both ends off or not. I mean, I could even, if I want, because I have my exits for wiring and entries for wiring. Now, if I can flex this to where, if I could flex this to where I could break it, that would be great. Because I would love to have a way for these wires to completely come through and uninterfered. But I don't think I'm going to have that as an option. So, anyway. Yes, but I can have the wiring. I can have wires come in from this side for the upper deck, the back side of this that I have for this. Also, I can have the wires coming out the front, so it can go into the other rooms too. And like I said, it's such a tight fit that I literally really don't have to do much of anything. I technically don't even have to have this. What's the word I'm thinking of? Oh, like screwed in, because it's such a tight fit. So I think what I'm going to do, because to keep these things to keep my little wire exits and entries on the outside, I am going to have to remove the other half, which is fine. So, hold on, guys. Ooh, not good. Ooh, that sucks. Well, live and learn. Well, now I do have a problem because the backside of my little chapel's breaking. But the good thing is I can make my little crate here, and I was already planning to do that on the backside of this, so it'll actually hold it and fasten it and glue it back together, which is a good thing. Even if I do put this in here and it's wedged open, it'll literally fill the gap and I could actually glue it back together at the same time. So let's see here. Okay. Yep, and I can literally fill the gap with what I need to, which is great. I mean, realistically, I could, probably what I should have done was scrape that out, or at least melt it out so I can fit it proper. I'll probably do that now. See? Learning as we go. Like I said, I think I can do something here where I can connect these to the main power here, which is what I need. Take you down while I reset these. There we go. Okay. Okay. So let's see here. If I do it this way. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Not really. So I need these both accessed. So yeah. Alright, there we go. So okay. Mark that out and let's press in. Okay. All right. Stay. Okay. There we go, guys. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we did this time. Better. I'd say better. And actually a fun thought. Well, it's still too tall for that. But anyway. There we go. A fun thought occurred to me. But I'm too deep in now. Well, I'll tell you what my fun thought was anyway. The fun thought I had was if I had set this up in such a way where I literally could do something that looked like, if I could do like pieces of glass, like not real glass, but you know, like the church stained window. I figured that, like I said, I'm setting this up as a cathedral in the area, so it'd be fun to do like a church stained glass here. But, yeah. It's like, I'm too deep in it now, so I'm in a spot where many might call I am committed now. So, okay, so there's that. Let's see how this looks with the other piece, with this on top. Okay. Okay. There's that. Now, I could, because I have the scrap pieces too, I could make a piece that would fit right there. Yep, why not? Perfect. Well, not really. Not really perfect, but for my purpose. There we go. Like that. There we go. All right. Not a dead-on perfect fit. However, if you guys can at least see the idea of what I'm figuring out, it would be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, really, if I do this. If I can do this just right. There we go. Yeah, I can leave that gap under there. I can leave that gap right under there. Why not? That'd be great, actually. And the other good thing is that I can also fill that gap out with things as well. So, like, oh look, I have a thin piece here. Not for the whole thing, but you get the idea. It's going to be a fun little, like I said, it's going to be really fun. We're going to see if I can get this battery pack to function again with the switch. So, that's going to come down to a little bit of some wiring again. And also figuring out how to pull it off again. So, I'm going to bring the other piece over. It's going to be so hard. All right, well, I'm going to at least try to set up all these up first. Try to set these all up so these all can work together. I think that would be a great little starting point. I think that would be a good thing to do. I have plenty of long scrap wire lying around from all the extra that I got. So that's what I need to think right now. So let's pull this apart for the moment. Let's see if I can set this up accordingly. We'll at least see if the switch will work the way I hope it does. Okay, if I can do... I don't think there's going to be enough room. Of course not. Why would there be? But I can drill a hole. If I drill a hole in the spot where it's going to be, that would be fun. Or at least drill the hole out right there. I could do it. I could do that. I'll do the drill and all that. So let's see. All right. Anyway, here we go. There. Okay. Ooh! Ooh! Don't get old, guys. It sucks. There it is. All right. The test. Now, if I did this correctly, that means no lights. Okay. Everything's on. That's okay. At least I know it's on. Outside of 1, 2, 3 lights. One light's on, the rest are not. That's disconcerting. Middle light's on, but none of the rest of them. Okay, great. So, disconnect power source. I see. The one that I need is loosey-goosey. Which, of course, I find it funnier that these are all strung together. Well, let's see if the opposite, let's see if this is true. Let's see if I get this in. Nope. All right. Call me a fool. All right. Easy fix. I forgot to put the negative to the rest. So, again, easy fix. It's still going to turn into a rat's nest, I think, at the end of the day, guys, which means I got to figure out a way to hide said rat nest. But I think at the end of the day, I'm going to live with it because I am closer. I'm closer than I have. Let's see if this will. Problem solved. Okay. Okay, guys. So, you guys have seen this with the momentary switch, but not with a normal switch. So, here you go. 3, 2, 1. Love it. So, that's what you got. Pretty sure there's going to be a power issue. I have no doubt. I don't know. I have something else, but I have to kind of jerry-rig it, I think, also. But it might be worth trying. We'll see. Yeah, there we go. Now it's coming on. Yeah, it's coming up now. The power is rising. Let me turn the lights off real quick for you guys, so you guys can see it in the dark a little bit. Yeah. So, we got the 4 individual rooms. So we have room 1, the main room of 2, 3, and 4, all lit up with the tiny little LED, miniature LED sets up right on the roof sections. You guys might be able to see that from a couple of the angle you're sitting at. Then, of course, you can imagine I have them set up with the larger piece that sits up behind it. So underneath that as well. So I am absolutely excited. I'm glad this is working. But obviously, I have a little work left to make this function. So I think I know what I want to do. Yeah, pretty sure I know how I want to hook it up pretty easily. But it's going to be a matter of, am I going to have the room? Yeah. Yep, I'll have the room. Yeah, I'll definitely have the room for what I want to do, how I want to do it, etc., etc. But then I got to get all the piping. I at least got to get a little more piping so I can try to move this into the directions I want to move it. So, anyway, I think for now, after about 4 months of waiting, I know I haven't gotten very far, but I think maybe I'll do something else. I think there's something I've been wanting to do for aesthetic-wise. So, give me just a moment, guys. Okay, so as I was saying, there might be something I want to do that's a little more aesthetic. So I actually put together this little thing out of a bunch of twigs from a yard. Now, you guys probably seen what I had done in the earliest videos of this, just setting things up. So, what I'm doing here, is this way, it's going to be set up like a central courtyard, with this as the tree in the center. So, but I gotta do this the right way, and it's not gonna be an easy thing to do. So, been a while. Oh, there it goes. Anyway, yes, so here we go. So for this little spot, I don't mind if it goes over a little bit. I can spread it out and it'll kind of be in a similar sense of looking like an old tree, which is exactly what I want. So I don't mind that either. There we go. Okay. This is why you keep gloves around too. And I will have to dry overnight, but they'll probably have to dry overnight for certainty. There we go. Okay. Got it. Okay. Okay. So, now, I don't know, you'll probably won't be able to see from where you are, but I'll probably bring it down in a minute. So this is something, I don't mind a little bit of on top of this. I can actually just mold it a little bit. I can paint it and everything else to kind of bring the woodland appearance. I'm also planning to kind of do this as, in a way, like a, oh my gosh, maybe like a ghostly willow kind of look as well, and I think that would look absolutely awesome on this. So, like literally, like, I'm not gonna like lock it into place or anything like that. It's gonna be, the only thing that'll be locked in place is essentially where it's attached, and then everything else is kind of free floating. So any air movements, like people even walking by, it'll actually cause it to move. It might probably get their attention. But what was that? You know, little things like that can kind of bring attention of like, oh, this is unique. It's different. So that's what I'm kind of aiming for here. So, nice little DIY. I'm not going to move it because I know the moment I do, it's going to like, bleh, it's going to fall over and just ruin my day. So, anyway, don't think there's much else I can do. I have, like I said, I have some plans of things. Oh yes, this goes here. Yep. It kind of goes there. I'm probably going to slowly fill this top out. I'm going to fill the top of this out for sure and kind of make this kind of uniform to the roof as much as I can. I'll plan to do that. That's some of that I'm doing. Since I have the setup of working with the switch, it's fantastic. I'm not going to complain. Now I just have to make it work for the back half that I took off here. But maybe my batteries are dying. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, hot. Ooh, hot. Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I can do something. Maybe I do a jerry rig something. Hang on. Gotta be over there. But anyway, this is what I'm talking about. Basically, it's meant for a little train set. It has its own little lights and whatnot to hook up to and everything else, but I was having too much fun, obviously, with my LED lights and all that. So, yeah, but this is meant for a train set. This has, yeah, the whole thing. So it has 2 LED stick-on lights, there's dimmer controls, easily to add a fun little switch if I want to, all that. I know I have the other part of this. Hold on. Or did I not? I don't remember anymore. Okay. No, I have all the little board pieces too. Like that. Yeah, maybe I can do that. Well, no. I have the power source, I have that. So I have those kind of things in my closet if I need to do something, go that route. Yeah. Maybe I don't. I thought I had the nice long one, but maybe I didn't get that one. That one might have been a little too much at the time. Anyway, if I have to go that route at the end of this, it'll be disappointing. But at the same time, if I'm actually able to set this up, at least if I can set it up to have all the power working, if I can do that and then use that, lose that little power reception and have it plug into a wall and I'll be okay with that at least. If I can find a way to have the ends connect to what I need to connect to, that would be fantastic. It would be wonderful to do that, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if I can make that work. Nice little electrical challenge, which I'm admiring a little bit of the challenge, and that's what I like. That's what I'm grateful for, is the challenge. So anyway, I know it's not a whole lot for you guys, and I do apologize, but it's also late at night. I'm tired. But at least I can give you a rundown of at least the things that I have going on. I have a fun project for my Dark Angels army that I'm currently running. I have not been laying idle. I have tried not to be too idle in at least my planning and forethought into what I'm going to do next when I finish this project, and getting tiny things to continue the project, this particular project. So, yes, I have things. I have many things. I believe I even have that conduit tube. Well, see what I mean? I'm literally I'm so far lost, I forgot I even had that. However, yeah, nope, I can actually do, yep, so I have things I can do, I have things to plan for, etc. Well, things planned and things to go, and pretty much it's all about the execution at the end of the day. So, fun notes, I know I haven't done the live talk show also in the last 4 months. I had so much fun planned for the summer and everything else, but unfortunately, work came first. But keep an eye out for it. I will try to make an announcement for when the next live Magic Kettle discussions will be. Keep an eye out for it. So anyway, thank you guys for at least if you're new to the channel, thank you. If you are someone who has been with me for the last, I would say now, 10 months, I think it's been now since I've done this, since I did the flip over, thank you for the patience. So, anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one.